Hey everyone, welcome to the video that I'll be doing on Bitcoin. I'll do a real quick update for us today and kind of take a look at where I think things are likely heading based on the price action that we've seen over the last 24 to 48 hours. It was a long weekend. Apologies for no videos on the weekend. I've been out doing some things with friends and family this weekend, and so it's time to get back into it. And so before I get started, of course, this isn't financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm giving my opinion on the market, so you're responsible for your own trades, manage your own risk, doing your own research. That is my 34-second disclaimer. So let's go ahead and pop into the chart and take a look and see what we are working with here. All right. So first off, I don't want to be that guy, but what I will say is the indicator has been doing phenomenal. The indicator has been doing absolutely phenomenal, calling the bottom here at 68, 6,900. Doing it again here at 7,700. Doing it again here at 8,300. Doing it again here at 91.50. And then finally, we had our last push up here at 97.35. So these are all trades where you shouldn't take it as buy and hold forever. You know, that hodl it doesn't stand for hold. It's basically hang on for dear life. That's not a trading strategy. You take the long position and you get out when you feel comfortable. When you've got a decent amount of profit, you get out and you wait for the next trade. You just continue to rinse and repeat. You just wait for things to line up. And we're very close to that happening again. So let's just take a look and see what we've got now. I want to take a look at the count that I have here, and I also want to take a look at the indicators. I don't think we bottomed here. I do think that we're probably going to bounce, and it's going to take several hours, more than likely. I don't think this is going to happen soon, but I do think that we are going to ultimately come a little bit lower, probably down to 9,400. I don't think it's time for us to violate this low yet. I don't think we're going to raid this low yet. I do believe that it will happen. I don't think it's going to happen in the next couple days. Now, I could be completely wrong here. But I would be looking at shorts for the next trade. So what we've got, let's just point out what we have here. We have a low down here. Then we have a high up here. Then we have a lower low, and then we have a lower high. And then we have a lower low, and now we currently have a lower high, and I think ultimately we could come back up to maybe 9,800, maybe even 10,000. One way or another, it's still going to be a lower high. So these are areas you should be looking to short. Okay, I got into a high risk, long position, but the trend, in my opinion, is flipping to the downside, at least for the short term. So you have to be very careful in these, in these long positions because they can be very, very risky. So what I think we are in, so you can see here we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into an A, and then an ABC into a B, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a truncation down here to, let me move this over, to finish up this A. So really what I actually believe that we have here is a nice A, B, C into the A. And then we're working on, I don't know if this is an ABC or WXY because of the triangle nature of this. I do want to call this more of a complex correction up here into this A. So again, we have an ABC into this A, and then an ABC potentially into this A, which then we're going to come down for a B and then move up for a C. So likely we're looking at an A, B, C scenario. And what I think this is going to end up looking like from up here, we have an A, B, C into the A, and then an A, B, C into the B, and then we're going to have an A, a B, a C into this B, which is likely going to be what gets us down here to this 9,400 level. So from here at the B, what I'm expecting to have happen is we have an A, and then we have a B, potentially only coming up to maybe 96.50, and then we go down here for the C, that's going to get us down here to this 9400 level. And once we get down here to 9400, that's going to be the B. So again, we have this A, B, C into the A, and then we have an A and then a B, which we're trying to work our way down into now, and then we're going to go up for a C. Now, how high is that going to go? That's a really great question. How high we go is all going to be highly dependent on how low we go. So let's hypothesize for a moment and say we come down to 9400. So let's get our trend-based fib tool here, and we can start from here. We do this A, we come down for the B, which again, we're looking at potentially 9400. I don't think we're going to violate this low just quite yet, but it is very possible that we go into an expansion. We'll wait and see. But the C on this is going to take us right up to about 10,100. I don't think we're going to go higher than 10,100 unless it happens right now. If it happens right now, we can go maybe to 10,150, but I actually believe this trend line is going to be governing price action to the upside. I don't think we're going to go above this trend line. So that is what I'm going to be paying attention to there. Again, I still believe that we have completed the A. We are working on the B. In other words, we are in an A, B of the B, and we're going to eventually work on the C of the B. And then from there, my friends, we have a lower target to hit, which is going to be down here in the realm of about 8,900, 9,000, depending on how quickly this happens. That is where we could potentially be going if this is how it works out. Let's go ahead and flip this trend-based fib tool upside down and work our way from the top up here. And then we come down here to the low, and then we're going to work our way up here to this next high. So it just depends on how long this is going to take and how high we retrace on this. I'm still taking a look at 10,100 as like the absolute highest that we can go. It is possible that we do the double bottom here at about 92.50. But the bottom of this this channel is going to be key. If we break the bottom of this channel, valid corrective targets take us all the way back here to this 8,500 level. It comes back to 8,500, and then if we take a look at this from another perspective, from the entire move, we've barely corrected this. We barely touched this from a correction standpoint. Going from the bottom to the top here, and again, I'm on a log scale, so just keep that in mind. I'm on a log scale. This 382 is sitting right here, right where this 100 is, here at 8,800. So this is at 87.22. The 100 is at the the 8,800 level. If we don't go any higher, then that's the low. That really lines it up very nicely. The 123.6 is still sitting right here at about 8,400. But look at the 50. We always talk about the 50 being your friend, and this is no different here. If we come back down to the 50, which is at 8,200. Very likely that is going to be a significant area of a bounce because that's going to be right down here where we had our lows on wave 4. It is valid for us to retrace to where wave 4 started, especially if you get into the account where you're looking at like head and shoulders, something like that. So this could be an ABC, and then we're going to work on an ABC to create a right shoulder, and then we're going to go lower from there. That's still, we're going to have to wait for time to work its way out there. But if you're looking at a head and shoulders, it's very easy for you to say, okay, well, we've got the left shoulder, we've got the head, and then we've got the right shoulder, and so we go down to where things started, which is going to be right here at the 50. No reason to believe that that's not a logical place for us to gravitate toward. If we break that, then we're definitely going to be looking at 7,800, which is where I'm hoping that we go. I would love for us to come down here and do a 618 retrace. That would be fantastic. At that point, and only at that point, when we're done with this complex correction, do I think that we can start talking about newer highs, going up to potentially 12,000? We'll have to wait and see. I believe that there is equal probability that we go to $5,000 before we go to $20,000. Probably an equal probability. If you're taking a look at this, from the price being at $10,000, for it to go down half versus double in price, you really have equal probability. And in my opinion, it's easier for this to go down than it is to go up, but that's just me with my bear goggles on. So let's zoom in here. Let's zoom in and just take a look and see what the indicator is telling us right now. What do we actually have to look forward to right now? All right. So what we've got the hourly and we've got the 3 hour, both kind of sitting down here, not quite in oversold territory yet, which is why I think we're going to have another push down. But nonetheless, watching for these indicators to give me an indication that things are going to be moving to the downside. We have a cross on the 12-hour. The 12-hour did cross, and let me just point out where this crossed, because we make these candles turn red when it happens, and we make the candles turn green when it happens in the opposite direction. So basically, we had a red cross here, right here at the top of this retrace, and then we had a nice move down. You know, you pay yourself along the way, but even if you didn't, here's where we're saying, hey, you know what? We're having a bullish cross, and look what happened 2 hours later. Boom, we had to move to the upside. You take profit whenever you feel comfortable. Don't be in the trade for the 1,000% gain. You got to pay yourself along the way. Okay, then we had a nice move down. Had a little retrace, and look, on the retrace, you know, we called the top again right here. It's perfect. Perfect. We called the top, and look what happened for like the last several hours. I'd be getting out of that trade now if it were me. And I am in a long position, so I can't say that I should wait because, you know, I'm managing my trades a little differently than how I would advise a new trader to do. But nonetheless, I would wait for these things to come down because I do think we're probably going to get another move down. And likely it's going to be, you know, on a pullback, you know, maybe a pullback to 96.50, and then we come back down to maybe 9400. Give that some time, and I think it's gonna work out to our benefit. That's going to be where we're going to look for another setup. Every single time this year, we have had a setup where the 1 hour and the 3 hour, both in oversold conditions, it marked a significant bottom in the market. I'm not going to just continue and do this over and over and over because you know, it is what it is. Every time this year we have seen this in oversold territory, the 1 hour and the 3 hour in tandem with each other, and throw in the 12-hour, and that's just icing on the cake. This would have been a fantastic trade to take because the 12-hour, the 1 hour, and the 3 hour were both in oversold conditions and crossing to the upside. Would have been a great trade. We're not there right now, but we're getting close. We were almost there, and you know, I almost took this trade here because things were getting close, but the things didn't line up. Things didn't line up, and I would be willing to suggest, you know, here in this area, although it was a significant bottom, it was not as significant as, say, this trade back here where we moved up and we were consolidating up here for a while. You know, we had a good trade down here. The setup wasn't right. We went up, but we came right back down. And then we had another decent, you know, it was decent. We had the 1 hour down here, then the 3 hour came later. And then we moved to the upside, and then here we are again. So you just have to be patient. Be patient and wait. Be patient and wait for these things to work to your advantage. Wait for the signals. And you know, if I am going to point this out, let me make sure that I've got my settings right here. We're going to look at the 180-minute chart, which is the 3 hour. You know, we called the, I mean, I don't want to say we, you know, my indicator called the top up here, and then, you know, it called, you know, a buy signal down here, some chop, but nonetheless, we called the top again right up here, right at the very top, and then we had a quick rollover, and then the 12-hour called it here on the retrace, and then we had more rollover. So what we're going to be waiting for, we're going to be waiting for the 1 hour and the 3 hour to come down here before we get into any aggressive longs. I'm in a very, very, very low leverage long position right now. I literally think I'm at like 1x or maybe 1.5x leverage. It's nothing significant, nor do I ever advise doing high leverage. It can be very reckless. You can basically lose your entire account very quickly. But I do think we're going to pull back. We're going to see some resistance up here at about 96.80 or so. You know, you can tell we've got support. We're going to have some resistance up here when we come back to it. It's natural. It's going to be what happens. So when we come back up here, you know, if you want to take a short trade, that's up to you. I wouldn't do that though. I would be waiting for the long trade down here at about 9,400. 9,400, I'd take the trade up to maybe 9,900, 10K, something like that. But then I do ultimately believe we are going to go much lower than what people are expecting. Everybody's being trained to buy the dip. So this is the last thing that I'm going to say. I'm 15 minutes in. Last thing I'm going to say on Bitcoin. Everybody's being trained to buy the dip. And that is where things get scary for me. I don't want to be caught in a long position, even though I'm in one. I don't want to be caught in a long position when everybody is being trained to buy the dip and basically fill the market movers' bags, in their short positions, because that is what is eventually going to happen, and likely has already started to happen. We have a markup in price, then we have distribution, and it pulls down, and then you have maybe some reaccumulation, but more or less you're going to have another markup in price, monster distribution, and then we have a major sell-off and a retrace distribution. That is the phase that we're currently in right now. I don't believe we have gotten back into reaccumulation. I think that will happen, but I don't think we're there yet. Okay, guys. 16 minutes is long enough. If this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. It was good to have you all in here. And, wherever you're in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and a good evening. And if you want to be part of our Discord, just throw in a comment in the chat. I'll be more than happy to get in my code out for you. Have a good day, everyone.